Post reporter Caitlin Doornbos is in the war-torn country digging up critical details on Russian attacks while those bombs were being dropped over her head. Caitlin's report from the front lines is powerful, it's poignant, and it's marking a new development in the conflict: Russian forces retrofitting Soviet-era weapons for use in modern war. The latest Russian attacks left 33 civilians, including a 10-year-old and 2 teens, wounded. Now, Caitlin was on the scene just minutes after 2 strikes hit a residential apartment building and a textile factory in Kharkiv. That city is 15 miles from the Russian border, which makes it an easy and a convenient target. And because of this close proximity, bombs and missiles can strike before authorities even have time to alert civilians, meaning the damage is often significant. And now Ukrainian authorities say Russia is using the city and its citizens as a macabre guinea pig to test out a different type of bomb. Now, Caitlin is back in Kyiv, and I spoke with her Thursday night. Caitlin, first of all, of course, I am so happy to see you safe. Thank you so much for being here today. And you're really in the thick of these bombings, quite literally. What is it like to be on the ground, and how are these new Russian bombs changing the game there?
Yeah, it's really something. Today I woke up and about 11:15 a.m., I heard a sound. It sounded like a spiraling football almost, and then a big boom. And then about 15 minutes later, we heard another one. And it sounded too close for comfort. My windows shook. We ran outside and saw smoke billowing. It was terrifying. We waited because a lot of times Russians will do something called a double tap strike. And with a double tap, they'll wait until first responders or journalists even show up to the strike, and they'll hit again to try to help out, or to try to target the helpers.
Oh my God.
So we waited until it was safe-ish, and we went down there, and I got to meet the most incredible, strong civilians who were very shaken up. There were a lot of hugs. There were a lot of tears. But everyone no one was killed. 33 people were injured, including 3 children. The youngest was about 10 or 11 years old. It is daily life here. In Kharkiv, I'm now in Kyiv. We're still under an air alert right now. That is the reality. It's like every day is 9/11 here in Ukraine. And I think that it is an incredible testament to their spirit that they're able to carry on. These new glide bombs that Russia is using, they're not all that new. They're actually old Soviet weapons that they outfit new wings onto, essentially. And so they are dropped from an airplane and they go where they go. There's no precision at all. We call them dumb bombs. And so where they land is where they land. And today it landed on a residential building, an apartment complex, and a textile industry.
Now, this war has largely been carried out by drones, and I know you spent some time embedded with a Ukrainian drone unit. What did you learn from that?
It is incredible what these Ukrainian military men are doing. It is modern warfare. So just like I was talking about just before about these dumb bombs being dropped, now we're seeing a new type of warfare where drones are being used both in the sky and on land. Last night, I actually embedded with a Ukrainian drone group, and I watched as they sent supplies down to their soldiers downrange using these vehicles that they ordinarily would have had to use, 3 crewed members to bring these troops the necessities that they need. And I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I think I'm shaken up by all the bombs. But yeah, it's fascinating to watch what they're doing. It's modern warfare. This is the new phase of war. And the United States, if God forbid we have to fight another war, it's going to be like this. And right now we're a bit behind on the battlefield in modern war. And there's just a ton of things that we can learn from the Ukrainians that we can take and adapt into our own warfare strategy. So therefore, God forbid, if we go to war with China or something like that is highly technologically advanced, we'll have the answers.
Now, I want to ask you about these reports about Russia using captured Ukrainian teens to fight against their own country. I mean, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it is really sad, the story of the kidnapped children in Ukraine. Children who are living closer to the front lines, they are often taken by the Russians and taken into Russia and sent into these kind of internment camps where they are forbidden from using the Ukrainian language, and they are taught Russian patriotism despite not wanting to in most cases. And they are now being cranked through military training. So the older ones actually get to go and train with the Russian military. And as soon as they're old enough to join the ranks, they're sent to the front lines. And there's something about, native Ukrainians having to be sent to fight their own people. It's definitely a mind warp hearing about parents having to fight their own children in a lot of cases. And those children don't want to be there, but Russia will kill them if they don't go out into the field and do their assaults themselves. So it's just the most just awful, vehement thing I've ever heard.
War is dark already, but to see a darker side to war, it kind of gives you chills. Caitlin Doornbos, thank you so much. And please come home safe. We are all thinking about you.
Thank you so much.
For more on this story and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York Post cast wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. You'll be glad you did.